Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for December 2023. Um, this is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Those intuitively guided. You know, your gut told you, watch the reading. You don't know why. You'll know why. You know, some kind of sign will come to you, a message. Um, you're here checking up on a Taurus. Also, I feel like be prepared for messages for yourself. You know, your guides know. They know where we're at, what we're doing. You know, those little corners we try to go through, they know. Um, no judgment though. Anyway, so whatever brought you, welcome. You know, it's interesting when I shuffle your cards, which I do for quite a while before I begin a reading. I just let my mind wander. And I was thinking about in Aries, I know that's right on the cusp of Taurus. And for some reason, I just put two and two together, like, and this is a friend of mine, so I know him very well. Um, and I'm thinking this person had like a flirty personality, but then had this almost like, and I know it because I'm a Virgo, you know, where I remember growing up going like, "Damn you morals, damn you! Like, why do I have to have morals when they don't?" You know what I mean? But I did. Um, and I feel like because he is right on the cusp of Taurus, now I'm thinking, now I get why, you know, he stopped so many times um, before moving into, you know, but though I do feel like ultimately he ended up there anyway. It's like then his Aries took back over. I don't know why I'm thinking of that. And that's with no judgment. It's just a realization I just had. Like, well, that makes perfect sense. Anyway, um, welcome to your reading, guys. So we're going to use four different decks. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot. That will be to clarify or to go deeper. For December, I brought in Archangel Raphael. Of course, Mother Mary, for our words of wisdom. I think I get that from the song Let It Be by the Beatles. But they are words of wisdom. And then for your main spread, I'm going to use the Tarot of Dreams. That was really calling to me for you. So don't mind my big old shirt. And by the way, we're doing an evening reading. There's a couple that I've done um, this month for in the evening, and they always have a different tone to them. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. So I don't know why I announced it otherwise. All right, let's go ahead and get into your reading, guys. Again, everything is pre-shuffled. Just want to give it a shuffle for you. That kind of looked like your card. I'm sorry, just the way it moved. Second opinion. Second opinion. Never hurts to get a second opinion about anything, really. Dear God, and Archangel Raphael, guide me to the best healthcare professionals for this situation. Second opinion. Okay. I'm sure that doesn't apply to all. But in the same breath, I felt like, doesn't really hurt to get a second opinion about anything. Probably where that saying, I'll second that, came from. Oh, all right, Mother Mary. I know some Taurus has been going through some very difficult times lately. And it seems to like let up and then something happens and then you know what I mean? And I know that's been happening for a few. So I just pray it gets better. All right, faith. Maybe that's what I should have is faith that it will be better. I have faith in God to heal this situation. Faith. It's my granddaughter's name. All right, let's go ahead and begin the tarot portion. This will be your main portion. It's funny, I had like this image of myself sitting in a movie theater and like these were the trailers, and now we're moving on to the main presentation. Hello. Oh, hello. Hmm. All right, we have the Nine of Swords. Don't love that, but we have the Ten of Cups. Interesting. A lot of worry about a home. Maybe love within a home. I'm going to bring this lid down a little bit. But what I want to say here is the Nine of Swords is really unnecessary worry, unless it's still there. I don't know why. Let me see why. We have the Palace of Swords. I feel like all of a sudden, I feel like this energy of like someone. I hope I'm not being too rough when I say this, but I feel like someone's suffering in silence. Um, rough's not the right word, but and I feel like it's almost like we may present as the Ten of Cups. It doesn't feel like it for some reason. Hmm. Even the Ten of Cups can have obstacles or challenges. Doesn't mean it can't be overcome. But do you feel like there's something going on? I almost feel like I demand real truth. And I feel like you don't feel like you're getting it. That may not be everyone, but I do feel like it's someone out there where it's like, and I get this energy also. Like, don't give me all the fluff. I just want the truth. I want the truth, the real truth, nothing but the truth. And I feel like you're worried that maybe I'm not getting it. Hmm. All right. Well, the Empress was first. So we're taking the Empress. Five of Cups. Palace of Pentacles. And then the Death card. Card Scorpio. Hmm. It's interesting because I feel like, man, I just feel like there's a lot of different things. But I feel like ultimately, I guess what I'm feeling is like someone worrying about maybe becoming single. And it may be by choice. And I'm only saying that because the Empress is, mirroring that Nine of Swords, and that Empress is going to look at that Nine of Swords and she's going to figure it out. You know what I mean? It's not going to exist for long. I know that. Excuse me. Some of you may worry about like becoming a single mother. But she's very bountiful, and it's her energy, her creativity, her really loving nature, her powerful nature, all that. She may be loving, but she's also very strong and powerful, and the lessons of the past really have become, and I want to say her weapons, but I don't mean it in a way like, like that's what I show someone, my weapons. No. And I feel maybe even more spiritual, if that makes sense. Anyway, um, so I'm feeling that you have two palaces here. One swords, one pentacles. It's interesting because the first two cards this way are both like worrisome cards. First one, Nine of Swords, a lot of like sometimes excess worry. Five of Cups, this is where I focus on what I've lost. I'm focusing on what I have lost, and I'm looking or thinking about, what might be because I'm still looking back. For some, I feel like, you wonder if you'll miss someone type of energy. We have the King of Cups. And look at that with justice. Interesting. So I do feel like maybe someone is thinking of cutting ties, but maybe that's your worry at the same time. Maybe I'm reading both sides of it. Of course, we want to remember though, the Nine of Swords is unnecessary worry. And because it's mirrored by, again, the Empress, like, I feel like this is not energy that I feel that you would stay in long. I just don't. Um, hmm. But then you have justice down here, someone's thinking of potentially cutting ties. But at the same time, will I miss this person? Will I be okay? Or it's the other way around, like you're worried someone else will. I feel like the house has been, I feel like there's just been bad communication. Jesus. All right, well, we're not taking all of them. We have the Knight of Swords, mirrored by the Ten of Cups. I'm just gonna fill out this block. We have the Two of Pentacles. And then we have the King of Wands. Two different kings. Well, I just wanted to see what was on the bottom of this pile, and it was Ten of Pentacles. I mean, with Ten of Cups, you know, some people may be like, you're switching kings, so to speak. With the Two of Pentacles down here, I feel like nothing goes beyond like you making the ultimate decision, of yes or no, I accept this challenge or I don't. Okay. We'll just keep those right there. But let's see what's on the bottom of this deck. Same deck. Eight of Pentacles. You know, I love the Eight of Pentacles and the Empress together because, especially with the Palace of Pentacles, um, you know, if anybody questions like their talents, their creativity, you know, if you think of the Empress, she's receiving epiphanies, signs, and she pays attention to them. Like she gives birth to you know, these epiphanies, and that's why she receives them. Not that we don't receive them, but maybe we don't, you know, until we reach that energy, we don't see them quite like the Empress does. Because I feel like the Empress would look at the Nine of Swords and say, man, I've been there before. And I don't know, I just feel like some type of solution. Eight of Pentacles tells me, you know, maybe something new, like something new began, and this feels like something that would have piqued your interest. You know, it kind of feels like something destined, to be honest. Like, this was meant to happen also. And, Seven of Cups below that. It's almost like you didn't trust yourself. You know, I feel like in the Eight of Pentacles, sometimes we don't feel like we have the knowledge that we need to be successful for whatever. You know, something might have piqued our interest, and I'm like, wait a minute. You know, I may overthink it. Like, I don't have that, but you do. It's like in your life experiences, and I feel like sometimes it's more important than, like your college education, like your earthly experiences and how you got through them, and you know what I mean. You know, this is learning with the Death card, learning when to close doors. Could be a Scorpio for some. Then we have this king down here. Hmm. Okay. Excuse me. Nine of Pentacles. Look at that. Nine of Pentacles over the Nine of Swords. That's a choice. You know, I feel like Nine of Swords, like if I don't if I don't become aware of that energy, because nine is about reflection, then I don't know. But then you have the Nine of Pentacles, and this talks of, first of all, we have the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, and then the Nine of Pentacles. Hello. This is successful self-employment. This is feeling independent and good about it. You know, and I don't mean that in a like, haha, look at me. No. This is just feeling good. um, because you can count on you. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. All right. We have the Hangman over the Ten of Cups. Hmm. We have the Empress right over the Palace of Swords. We have the Four of Pentacles right over the Empress. And then we have the Two of Wands, interesting, right over the Five of Cups. I don't know why I'm coughing so much tonight. Five of Cups, interesting because that's where your focus is at. This is when I'm focused on what I have lost. But it's a five change, so if I'm willing to do that, there are two couples that are behind this person, and it doesn't even have to mean love. I do feel like, when you trust in like energy, and I know it's not easy, but I feel like, the Empress be like, but Sandy, it is. It's easier. Um, so, you trust in energy and you just like follow it, follow the breadcrumbs. I feel like you just land in, I don't know, what feels like the right place at the right time. What am I holding? Two of Wands. So both of those are choices, you know. I have to tell you that. And I'm a big believer that sometimes our way out is through, you know, like our own creativity, our own, ideas, inventions, like I feel a lot of different things all of a sudden. Um, it's almost like, when we realize we don't need someone else to like create success for us. And, I know success is measured in different ways, but nonetheless, it's having what you need. Let's just put it that way. I feel like this Empress may be thinking about, interesting. She may be thinking about leaving with the Three of Pentacles over the Palace of Pentacles. Wow, look at that. So three, the Empress is a three, and then I feel like there was another three with this Empress. All like really creative energy, and then you have the Nine of Pentacles up there. I mean, I feel like, sometimes, like you can like find yourself on a path like that you least expected. And I'm saying that because there's a few times in my life where I found myself on those paths, and this is one of them, like one of Tarot. I've been doing this for a while now, but it's not a path that I ever thought I'd be on. But yet here I am. And I feel like that's kind of like what this reading is saying to you, maybe you don't feel that yet, but like there's one day when you'll be like, and here I am, right where you're meant to be. Anyway, with the Nine of Wands, and then we have the Hierophant, card Taurus. So your major arcana coming over this King of Cups. I feel Taurus, first of all, I feel like, listen, the Nine of Wands is right next to your major arcana, so it does want you, especially it's looking right over those other nines. So the Nine of Wands is like thinking about, well, or reflecting upon, a period of like heavy responsibility. But the nine means like your responsibility in it. Now, ultimately, I feel like, when I have true reflection there, like I start to see like my own spiritual growth. And that's a good thing. And then maybe like, then I understand why the door needs to be closed. I have this feeling like some of your thoughts are going to be like of higher thoughts, but I feel like if you allow yourself, the hangman feels to me like a little bit of a block. Like I never really felt him before like this, but it's almost like because like these higher thoughts want to come to you, but they feel like a human block. And maybe some of you are still like in a reflection time, but remember also it is about final reflection, closing that door, like I'm reflecting so I understand, and then the finale. All right, but anyway, and then I feel like Taurus, don't be afraid to like express who you are, but also express your emotions. I feel like it's important that you allow someone to know, like, if you like care for them emotionally, let them know. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, I feel like that it's like, I guess every sign has like something that they have to learn to overcome. And I feel like one of yours is like putting down this wall where like you have so much control over someone if someone can touch you emotionally and like I get it, but at the same time I feel like this is talking about also, especially with the Empress here, like energy, right? Energy beyond like the human, what other, like, if I feel something is right or I feel something is wrong, I mean I feel it. I gotta trust that, right? I gotta have faith. Could also be about a person. If I know in my gut someone's bad, then they're bad. If I know in my gut that they're good, but I'm just afraid, well, that's me. And again, I'm not trying to judge anybody because I get it. I'm Virgo. I get it. But at the same time, like we have to own it. Anyway. All right, so let's look at it from the element of some of you starting down this Two of Wands energy. Let's say that, like these nines, you're accepting them. Look at this, the Tower. Huh. The Tower coming over justice. Hmm. 7 of Swords. All right. Kind of puts a different twist on it, if you ask me. Because I feel like there was the old me and then there's me now. And the old me, you know, probably took a lot more. Like I took a lot more bullshit. I pretended that I didn't see what I could see right in front of me. You know what I mean? But as time went on, like I started to find the real me, and the real me, like feel like you started to put your effort, your time at least in like something. It's almost like your guides knew, and they would let they like sent out like this stardust and knew that you would grab onto something and it would just pique your interest. And I feel like it's ultimately leading you down a different path. And I do feel like it's a path you don't really expect. Um, And yeah, listen, there may be a tower, right? There may be an ending to a relationship. Now, I don't feel like I would be telling you anything you wouldn't already know, because that's not the way I read. You know what I mean? I just don't read that way. So, and I make it very clear, like I don't even want messages like that because I don't want to read that way, but I also don't want to be naive when I read. So Seven of Swords coming over the Knight of Swords. Well, the Seven of Swords is somewhat untrustworthy energy. Listen, I feel like something happened within a relationship, and there may be some people that are becoming single. Maybe some are going to work on it and try to heal it. And I hope that be the case. But I feel like there's so many nines here. I feel like it's representing like, people becoming like potentially single. But then again, I want to say, with all these nines, like, don't forget, like, all that like, all the wisdom. It's like, it reminds me like taking an orange and squeezing it for the juice. I wouldn't just like lightly squeeze it, right? I'd squeeze it. I'd get all the nectar. And I feel like that's what these nines are giving you. And I feel like ultimately, I don't know, like yet, I don't know how it happened yet, but I feel like ultimately, like there's this higher wisdom, higher knowledge, uh, something, maybe it's even like, how do I say this, like just a different vibration. I don't know. I got to think about that. We have the Five of Swords. Taurus, I'll be honest, this is how I feel like lot of, a lot of your brothers and sisters have also felt. I feel like there's a lot going on in your lives, and I feel like there's a lot of influence, like maybe it's planetary, but nonetheless, maybe some of them I should be aware of. We have the Two of Pentacles, and then we have the Eight of Cups. Look at that, ultimately. It's like I'm burning the bridges behind me, and I'm walking off into the sunset, and I'm burning the bridges behind me. This person has like no mind of the tower and what happens with the tower. It's almost like, what tower? Even though I'm the one who just lit the match to the tower, or knocked the tower over, what have you. Like, what tower? And they're just heading off. Could it be that simple? What's right above this person in the Eight of Cups, the Hierophant? Your major arcana. Listen, with Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords, with the Tower, justice all together. I can't, I can't find how this could be energy that I would want to stick around. So the only thing then that would keep me there would either be change is just sometimes just change. You're like, I'm afraid of change. Like I've been there, right? You're just afraid of change, even though like, I feel like the Four of Cups should be out. There can still be discontentment in my life, but man, change. But here's the thing, like at the same time, I feel like when you open up the channel, like when you open yourself up, like in this Eight of Cups, I feel like this person is just heading off into the sunset. And I don't, I'm probably not talking like literally, Maybe I am for some, but I feel like really what it is freedom. And I feel like freedom just from everything, everything. And I feel like one of the reasons why you're able to do that is because of this Eight of Pentacles, this Nine of Pentacles, the Empress, Nine of Wands, the realization of like who you really are. I don't care. Sometimes we can be like, people can beat us down and beat us down and beat us down. And we start to believe it, right? Like in the Nine of Swords, like, like somebody tells you over and over again that you're no good, over and over again, you start to believe it. But even in Nine of Swords, I feel like you still would have that realization of like, wait a minute, because don't forget, it is about unnecessary worry, and it's like the Empress over that energy, and now the Nine of Pentacles over that energy also. And, and I do feel like like many times, your way out of situations is through like your creative house. It's like sometimes making something from nothing. And then here I am. Here I am. I feel like there is a changing of the guards. Um, it can feel bad, but ultimately, I feel like, listen, I feel like if I'm talking to you, then you already know that, like, your partner carries untrustworthy energy, has become toxic to you and your growth, truly, because, it lies in your hands. It really does. It lies in your hands. So I'm not just talking, like, and if you have a great relationship, like, then this would not be you. This is not surprised energy. This is energy that, like, I can't help. If it's somebody else, I can't help but have seen it. Even if I tell myself that I hadn't, like, would you know? But anyway, I feel like ultimately, the Eight of Cups and the Tower, they're going in opposite directions. So be it. It's almost like I had to go through hell. It's funny because when I was shuffling your cards, I kept thinking of this song, Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the Jungle, like over and over again, like in my head. And I was like, oh, I should say that. And then I thought, no, because I don't want you guys to think like I think that you're like the jungle, but I just kept hearing like over and over in my head, and it's funny, like there it is again. All right, I guess it's almost like, is there anything I want to look at? I guess the Hangman, the King of Swords, can be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have Libra down here. That would make sense with all these swords down here, all these difficult swords. All right. I don't know, guys. I kind of feel like that's my story and I'm sticking to it. But does anything else want to come out? Just moving forward. I feel like just when I said, does anything else want to come out moving forward? I feel like I was instructed to look back. And when I look back at the Eight of Pentacles again. Eight of Pentacles, don't be afraid of being the apprentice. Don't be afraid of doing something new. You know, if your interest is piqued, follow it. Even if you don't know what you think that you know, this is you learn. You know, it's the energy of learning as you go. Eight of Pentacles says if you're willing to focus on it, then you're going to have, well, you're going to have success. There is the Nine of Pentacles. There is the success. So I know you can create it, you know, and it can be in different ways for different people. But it feels like, I feel like ultimately, it's allowing some of you, allowing, I don't know if that's the right word, but like it's giving some of you the way. And I feel like from that point on, I don't know, I feel like from that point on, like who's going to shake me? Really? You know, if I can stand on my own 2 feet, like then, you know, like who's going to shake me? Even the tower, you know, it's like being met with energy of like, what tower? Right? The Hierophant, I'm rising above, going into maybe 2024. It's a universal year 8. So, 7 of Wands, stand your ground. You know, stand your ground, but also know when to quit. Know what you're fighting for. Know if the enemy's even worth it. You know what I mean? Like the Eight of Cups, like I'm leaving you in the past. Like the battles, they're not coming with me. The wisdom, the remembrance, right? Because if I run across that energy again in my future, I'm going to know it. I'm going to feel it. Good luck trying to get to me. And it's not because there's walls built. It's because your energy is so strong. Good luck. So, you know who you're battling, know why you're battling, and know if it's even worth it. Or are you better off just like, I'm gonna go my own way? Man, am I singing like rap tonight? I feel like Stevie Nicks, go my own way. Go my own way. Wow. So funny, like how if I could be anything in the world, you know, that question, like if you could be anybody or anything in the world, what would you be? And I always think I'd be a singer. I'd be like a really good singer, like one that, like my voice is an instrument um, and it brings healing and what have you. But now all the guys in my family, all the boys, all the men, they all have this beautiful musical talent. So I don't know. With the Chariot, we're in the year of the Chariot. Card of Cancer, by the way. We have the Six of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Wands. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. Probably you. Okay, so Chariot makes me feel like there's a movement. And, you know, I feel like this may be like knowing, like being, yeah, you're right. You're right. Maybe I am trying to fight a battle that's not worth fighting. And that alone, because the Chariot, listen, you got to have balance with the Chariot. The Chariot's your intention. And if your intention is using the Seven of Wands, you know, battling energy, and you're throwing out the wands, or they're going to come back. Chariot's really meant for like taking this Eight of Pentacles and taking it like to the moon, Alice. To the moon, Alice. And by the way, I kind of love that this Six of Pentacles comes up because I feel like your compassion, your empathy, you caring about the underdog, like that's a part of you that many people miss that is so beautiful. Like it's just part of who you are. And it's almost like, if I have plenty, then I want others to have plenty. Hmm. I feel like this is saying don't fight like, like, if you're someone who, I feel like pay attention to the details you first see. Hmm. I don't know what I mean by that. Pay attention to the first details you see. I feel like what this is talking about is some of you moving into this type of modality where you are in some way, maybe you're just doing it naturally. You are caring about others, like I do feel like you're coming from your soul. And listen, maybe you've been in energy where like it's almost like you've been put down because of it. You know what I mean? Which just, it isn't right. But yet it is there. You know what I mean? Yet it exists. But it isn't right. And, sometimes that's their problem. That's their lack of, right? That's their lack mentality. And then they put it on us and we absorb it and we think it's us when truth be told, it's not us at all. I mean, look at the abundance that you can create for yourself. It's just like, to the moon, Alice. To the moon, Alice. And I feel like, for some of you, what I'm leaving behind, if it's a person, I kind of feel like, eh, will I miss them? I might be too busy to be truthful. I might be like, my interest might lie here. And that's just that. So will I miss them? I feel like the answer is, yeah, you might miss them here and there. I feel like, truth be told, your interest is going to be elsewhere, and that feels right. It just does. And again, I feel like the Eight of Cups and the Tower, like, just heading to the sun, heading to the sun, burning the bridges behind you. It's like they're not even there. Like, what bridges? All right. I think I'm going to let that be. But I am going to read Faith. What did I do with? Okay. Um, Second opinion. I feel like you guys get that. So let me read Faith. Faith. All right. The question that you're asking involves a situation that is testing your faith. Nonetheless, this card indicates that more faith is needed. Everything will resolve itself in a divinely ordered way over time, even if you presently, even if presently no solutions are in sight. Prayers are often answered in unexpected ways, as will be the case for this situation. Leave it to the hands of God, who in his infinite wisdom already knows how to resolve anything. God, Mother Mary, and the angels can see your future, and it is bright. Have faith, dear one, so that you can enjoy each precious moment on your path to your beautiful tomorrow. Wow. Amen. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna leave it there. This went deep. I hope it didn't go too deep. I feel like it had to go deep, but I don't know if everybody appreciates. I was thinking back to like, I think it was this summer, or maybe it was the summer before, where I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try those shorter videos. I'm gonna try to do like 20-minute, monthly readings, and I did it, but boy, they just didn't feel complete to me, and my views went down. So that told me, and you told me, get back to like these readings, right? Get like leave no stone unturned, so forth, so forth. So that's what I do. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you. Um, I can't wait to read your comments. See what this means to. I feel like it's different things for different people. And again, I feel like you're going to feel it. You're going to know if it's you or not. Don't try to second guess it. You know what I mean? All right. I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.